Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's time for the Midnight Ride with Grayman Prepping. Let me hang on, I get that little logo up. I was experimenting with the logo. Let me take that off there. There we go. They stick logos in the places you don't want them. How's everybody doing out there? It's a interesting time here. Oh, well, it's been a while since I've done this, so let's see if I can stay awake. Let me go over here and go to the chat and go up here. So first one in was CB, and I haven't seen anything from her since, so maybe she went to bed. Then Idaho Garden Girl came in. Hey, Steph. Phelan Clan Wolf is lurking. And Waltz. Hey, Gil, I'll be listening. And when Walt says that, it usually means he's either on horseback or he's got one of the electric quads. He's out on the fence line with his Ruger Creed 6.5 Creedmoor. What is it? What is the rifle he told me it was? It's a Hawkeye long target rifle. Basically, they're like the precision sniper rifles are 24 inches. This one's a 26-inch barrel. He was talking about it. So he's probably out there, with the subsonic ammunition and the suppressor on it, taking out the wolves or the coyotes or whatever's out there bothering his livestock. All right, next is Tibor's in the house. And all right, Steph, Idaho Garden Girl just proved she's the smartest one here. She set an alarm to alert her that they live stream. And Tibor put out a thought here. Now, the only exception to this, Tibor, good points all around here, except for if there's an exception, it's going to be if you have candles and you see other people with candles in their things, you don't want to stand out by being totally dark then. If they have a candle in their house and you see people walking around with a candle and moving around, candle would be okay too. That way someone comes up and peeks in your window, they're going to see you readying your rifles and everything else, and they're going to get the heck out of there. CB's here. And Star Homestead India is here. I'm not married yet. I won't find out until the 7th of November. And actually, I may not find out until the 8th. Let's see here, and that's everybody that's talking. We got a bunch of other lurkers because the numbers are, we got 11 people watching. If you are just listening, please hit the thumbs up and say at least, checking in. I'm lurking. I'm just going to be listening. What that does is YouTube has a new algorithm in their AI. If everybody that's watching doesn't do a thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs down and make at least one comment, oh, it's a bot. They're not going to count the watch hours. Oh, okay, Star. So you got to light a candle in your neighbor's house. Okay. Well, the thing is, the homes in the countries are probably going to have candles, oil lanterns, and they're going to have probably several things of light to do it. But if you're way out in the country, then you're probably not going to be worrying about it anyways, because if someone's driving around out there, there's no street lights. They're not going to know the power is out, and they're just going to say, okay. Someone's, Jack's up. Okay, I'm going to go on. No, In the city, I'd be more worried about it. But you can see on the street several people out lights and everybody out there wandering around with flashlights and stuff. Then that's, you really don't have to worry about it that much because everybody's out wandering around, waking up in the middle of the night or whatever, doing, they were in bed doing their social media. Everything's dead. What? All the lights went out. Crap. What's going on outside? And Old School's here. Hey, thank you. So several things were on my mind this week. That's why I decided to pop this off early. I wasn't going to start it till after the staff sergeant and my youngest son go home. They're supposed to be showing up now the 30th. Let me make sure I get the right Saturday here. Yeah, they're supposed to be driving in the 30th and help me put all the metal roofing on the new patio cover, because those are 12-foot long, 3-foot wide sheets of roofing steel, and I don't want to be able to try to hold it in place, and try to get it to make sure it's square, putting screws in and keeping it from blowing away at the same time. So I was going to wait till after they leave before I kick this off, but several things happened this week. And I thought it'd be best just to go ahead and share it all. Let's see if I get the other stuff set up here on the other screen here. Okay. One thing just came in today was an email from Martinez Patch. Contra Costa County, where my wife still lives in California, voted 4-0 with a couple of abstentions that in unincorporated area, any gun owner must keep their gun either locked up in a gun safe or with a trigger locking mechanism on it. And one of the reasons they cited was, and it was whether or not there were children in the home. You know, the state did one, if there's children in the home, you got to do it. You should do it, no matter what, you should do it. But they said, if it doesn't matter if the kids in the home, everybody has to do it. Yeah, we're not saying you can't have a weapon. You know, you're not violating the Second Amendment. Yes, they are. By saying you can't have a weapon, they're saying you can't have it readily available, which is a violation. But they said one of the reasons they gave is, well, if a person has a mental deficiency or they're feeling depressed at the time, if it's locked up, they can't use it. Wait a minute. Just because someone's feeling depressed, it's like, I can't remember the combination to my gun safe, or I can't put the key lock in here to unlock the trigger mechanism because I'm feeling depressed. I automatically lose that ability. Utter stupidity on some of the elected officials who think they are, because they've been elected, they automatically become an elitist with more knowledge, and they know better than anybody else just because they've been elected. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? And they have the right, because they're elected, to tell us what to do when they're elected to do what we tell them what to do. All right. So, anyways, but that was just one that came this afternoon. But I'd already plugged this in to set it up. So, what other things going on is what's been happening with the sun. And there's not a lot of things that get me nervous because they're so totally out of my control as the sun is. If you've been watching, I know Stephanie follows Ben Davidson, and was knows what's been happening. There's been several impulsive flares or whatever, and they both have kicked off CMEs. Because it's impulsive, basically it goes beep, and that's it. It's not a what it happens if it's a long duration. It throws out more stuff where it's a beep boop. Yeah, suspicious observers, and so day before yesterday, I guess we got hit in the evening with some of the stuff from the first one. This last one was what would they say? It was a level M 9.8 or 9.82. Yeah, sun, exactly. Sun burps. The sun belched at us. And it was almost an X class. And it's aimed at Earth. It's on the Earth-facing side of the sun. It's like there, and it went bleep. Because it was just a little blip, it didn't throw much out. Just anything went out kind of straight. And so we may catch a little bit off on the side of it in 2 days, which would make it today Saturday morning to Saturday afternoon. Because if we call it a sun fart, then it because it's a fart like a cow fart, it means that's what's causing global warming. It's the sun farting, not the cows. Yeah. Which might make them realize, wait a minute, the sun is causing it? All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to drop this down in here for those that, are up to it. I did find out something interesting a couple days ago for setting up live streams. I hadn't noticed they snuck it in there. I'm going to change the pin message. There we go. When I'm setting up a live stream beforehand, so I set up with StreamYard and I get done. Boom. Then I go over to YouTube Studio and I go into content. I click on, and the live stream is set up above everything else with a separator saying it's not published yet. It's coming. And then I go into edit it. And then, of course, I want to put this into, like tonight's going into live streams and the Midnight Ride playlist. And then I added the tags on it, no Kool-Aid, no fear porn, those tags, and all the the name of it and all the other fun tags, people finding it, and the hashtags to find it. And then I went down to the bottom and I changed it back from entertainment to education, because if it's a live stream, it's got to be entertainment, it can't be educational. So I got to change it back to education, to put in real life applications. And then I go from the details. I save that, and then I go over to the customization for this one, and that's where I set it for the to make comments. You must be a subscriber of at least 5 minutes. That keeps the bots out. And then down farther though. And I go down farther and it says, do you allow sampling? No. And then down below that, it said real-time reactions. And I found out what that was, because I've noticed, because right now on my other monitor over here, I have this up on YouTube. And if I was to go over there and click on something, there would be the last comment. There's over in the corner, there's this heart and all these things. You try to over to go to, like if someone says a bad comment in there, I want to go over and, block them. Well, I got to wait for it to move up because it has this other BS on there, which is the reactions. By unclicking the real-time reactions, that goes away. And it makes it so much easier as a host and everybody else out there to do things. And it gives my moderators a chance, if someone throws something bad up there, to whack-a-mole and get rid of them. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Biden, I on Facebook, someone put it out there, and so I shared it. It has the top picture is the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. I smell children, and down below it was who, Captain Crazy going, hold on, ladies, that's my job. Smelling children, yeah. Mm-hmm. My sister-in-law has been known to do a long burp. Not as long as my brother. My brother did, I think it was, we swear it was almost half. Bros. He was there. After you chugged a big old 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew. Yeah. Yeah, he chugged the bottle and he shook his stomach up and just started burping. But yeah, there's some other weird thing. Oh, here's another weird one. Old Farmer's Almanac predicts for California a cold, wet winter. 4 of the weather channels I follow, YouTube weather channels, where the guys going all the maps and everything else and pulling up everything, predict a warmer than normal winter for California and a little bit drier winter for California in the southern half. The northern half towards Oregon is going to get more rain, but it's still warmer. That's what they're all saying. Yeah, T-Rex, that's the way he burped. Well, you know, on my Facebook account, I would have to say 2/3 of them are people I physically have met and talked to and know either from work or church or my community back in Martinez. The other third are YouTube channels that I know, and I see. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. I accept the friend link, and some of them I get it, and it's like you have 47 same friends. I'm looking like, who the heck is this? And I do a little research. Oh, that's such and such channel, and it's like, okay, yeah, I watch all your videos, yeah. But yeah, it's from Oregon, Italy. Yeah, yesterday afternoon, 3:00 ish, 4:00 ish. My number 3 grandson was over here, Danny, and actually he came off the bus. My daughter walked him over because he saw me, and he goes, "Oh, Grandpa!" So she walked him over. I said he could stay, but he had to do exactly what I said. I was working on the roof up there, and I'd have him hand me the big long level, and I'd have him hand me the little reciprocating saw when I needed it. And he was having a grand old time there. And then the thunder started. And the first thunder, he was like, what was that? What was that? Then they heard another one goes, "Ooh, do you see the lightning, Grandpa? Do you see the lightning?" Because I'm up on the ladder and he's down below. I said, it's over there. Well, I got 4 ladders up because rather than moving the ladder from one side to the other, I go up to one, attach that side of the board, go down, up the other one, attach that side of the board, pull it back 8 inches, do the next board. Well, he goes up the other ladder, and he's up there hanging on to dear life to the last board I attached, looking around. Where is it? There it is. I saw the lightning. And then he slowly grabs it, goes back down. Then he starts running from one end of the patio to the other, because on the one end he goes around the house, and he's looking for the lightning over towards the southwest. And he runs back to the other side, looks up towards the southeast. And he's running back and forth because he hears thunder. Wait, that's on the other side. Oh, wait, it's on the other side. He runs back and forth, just absolutely, totally hilarious. He is like, dude, you might as well just stop, stand there, and it'll come. Or walk out into the driveway where you do your chalk art, and that way you can see everything. But he didn't want to leave me. He wanted to see where I was at the entire time. And so he And then, so I got the last couple boards up, and all of a sudden some raindrops started to come. All right, let's pick everything up and put it in the shop, and got everything cleaned up. Came inside, started to rain for about 5 minutes, and it stopped. And we waited and we waited. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? It's the Marshmallow Man in the house. And so we went back out, put up one more board, and just as I came back down the ladder, it started to rain. And so we ran inside. He got his jacket on and stuff, because he wanted to go home, because he didn't want to be, because he realized if it's starting to rain as black as the sky looked, it was going to be a hard rain. So he got his jacket on and stuff, and we took him home. And by the time I got back, it really opened up. But yeah, there is there's some interesting things going on. My wife comes up here. I'm going to have to try to get her to go one day. Of course, with my son here, he'll help drag her along over to a company called Guns and Gear. It's an indoor gun range in Idaho Falls. And I want her to go over there and try out several of the pistols, find one that she is comfortable, because it's not comfortable. She's not going to shoot. She's not going to want to shoot it. If it feels nice and good and comfortable and like it's made for her hand, she'll be more interested in practicing and learning to use it properly. And then I also want to get her pick out her own rifle or shotgun that she's comfortable holding. Now, if she wants a shotgun, I want to make sure it's one that you can take and switch. Has the cover plate. You take it off the left side, flip something inside, put that on the other side so it ejects out to the left side. Because as a right-hander, it's fine if it ejects out to the right, but being a left-hander, it ejects out right across in front of her eyes. And I want it to eject the other way for her, so if she gets more comfortable with it, she being in the Army, she was more than qualified with the M16, but she learned since she couldn't hold it like this, she had to turn it. So it eject kind of down a little bit when she was shooting. And at first, the DIs were giving her trouble about it. She goes, watch. And you see, she goes across and distracts me. This way here, I'm still on target, and it's not in my eye, in my thing. And they left her alone. No, she wasn't using the Beretta. They did have another pistol for some reason that she tried. They were experimenting with the women on, and but it didn't. It was just an experiment. There were about 3 classes there of cadets coming through or recruits that they tried that on. But for the most part, unless you're an officer, you don't get a pistol. And so she was on the rifle and stuff, but she qualified on that really good. But she wouldn't talk. She won't talk about what pistol it was that they were experimenting with her class and a couple of other classes there. And I have a feeling they said, "All right, you guys, you can't talk about this. We're just we're going to see how you guys do and do an evaluation test." And I think that's all it was just an experimental test to see how raw recruits would handle this certain type pistol, whether or not the Army would adopt it, whatever you want to call it. And let me guess, besides the round rocks, you have the wrist rocket for it, slingshot, the power one, or the good swinging one. But the one pistol she did like, when we started having kids, she said, let's go ahead and get rid of these pistols, not realizing she was falling into the dogma. And later on, she was mad at herself. And I heard her over telling a friend that she was mad at herself. She will not admit it to me because she just doesn't want to admit it to me, but she admitted it to her best friend, and I overheard it. That when she made me get rid of my my matched pair of Smith & Wesson, stainless steel, 9mm, so the 639s, which means they were the single stacks, not the double stack, not the double stack. So they had a smaller grip and everything. So it's grips that we both liked. And she had me get rid of them because she was listening to some of her stupid friends, and she later realized how stupid they were, and they were no longer her friends. So she, but that was one she liked. So yeah, I know if it's not one that she doesn't feel comfortable with, she's not going to want to shoot it. The one thing that one pistol I might try to get her to try out is another type. It's a small frame. It's the Glock 29 SF, the small frame, which is interesting. Is even though it's a small frame, so it's got the short barrel, but Lone Wolf Barrels makes aftermarket barrels for it up to 9 inches long. But and yeah, guys, try if something she likes, we'll do it. She'll probably do it. But I want her to get a rifle she likes, and whether it's bolt action, lever action, semi-auto, whatever it is, break breech loader, whatever it is, if it's a rifle she likes and she will practice with it and will enjoy it, then it's worth the extra money to give her the weapon that she'll like. Hate plastic tracker fired handguns. Yeah. Yeah. What I would love to do is to get a Smith & Wesson is making some reproductions of some of the old ball and cap pistols, but making them double action and they're in 32 caliber and 38 caliber, which means also basically they're making it so they take 357, but they're listed as 38, but it says can take 357, so it's but they're revolvers. And so the pistol, the grip of it is like the old Old West Navy ball and caps and stuff that are small. They are ergonomically contoured for the human hand, unlike a lot of the other ones, later ones that just big man. Unless you're John Wayne or Clint Eastwood or forget his name now. Johnson, he was in a lot of John Wayne movies. The other big guy. They got big hands, so yeah. Yeah, well, Tibor, there are a lot of other brands where people have accidentally shot themselves, and with other ones besides the Glocks. There have been plenty of accidental Beretta shootings too. There's been accidental Smith & Wesson shootings, accidental Ruger shootings. I mean, I just remember the one that caught the footage of on a thing where the guy was the FBI agent was screwing around and shot himself. In the leg, it's boom. It's like, oh shit. Ben Johnson, yes. Ben Johnson, yes. But yeah, there's a lot of things out there. So guys, what's on your mind? What are some of the idiotic things you see going around? Yeah, the 39 was it the 49 was there was the 49, the 439, the 439, the 539, and the 639. The 639 was the stainless steel, and the 439 was the standard finish on it, and the 539 had was another. I think that was one where they were getting Metal Life Industries to coat them. I think that may have been the metal when Metal Life was a big deal at the time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love my 639s. They were, my wife could actually handle them because they were the single stack, narrow, and I got the grips on it, and I got the tapered narrow grip, so it was a little bit smaller. Do I miss eating rice? Not that much. Oh, but yes, yeah. What I miss the most is hot dog buns. I still eat hot dogs, but not. I just heat it up in a paper towel and munch on it. And all my grandkids are the same way. They'll do it, and they'll. But if I have the low carb bread in the house, they'll want it laying the bread and put a little mustard on it, and they'll do that. But yeah. What is so funny about that? The rice that you guys are stopped exporting wasn't coming to the United States. That was going to other countries. There is still rice being exported from India, but it's the more expensive frou-frou rice, and some of that does come here. But the basic white rice, the cheap stuff that most people get here, doesn't come from India. It's either California, Michigan, Louisiana, forget the other states, but yeah, we export a lot more rice than we import of the frou-frou rice. Yeah, that's what I loved about the 39s. It had the ambidextrous safety, so I could do the safety, switch it, and I can still do the safety. So there was safety on both sides of the gun. So hit that safety, you ain't firing it until you move it. Yeah, even though I loved my 639s, if I was going to be in a confrontation and I had my druthers, I would want my revolver. Because as much time as I was spending at the range with my 639s, I was nowhere near as good as I was with a revolver. And when I went to the police academy, I took second place. Guy that took first place and the guy that took third place had the exact same revolver I did. The Smith & Wesson Model 28 Highway Patrolman with the 8 3/8-inch barrel. And we blew everyone else in the academy out of the water. They weren't even close to being in the top three. And because they go, oh, why do you have that big old barrel on it? Because when I pull it out there and I hit the target, and every one of my shots is on target, offhand, left hand, quick, on the run, whatever. Yeah, it's a big difference between this much of a barrel and this much of a barrel. Big difference whether you're going to hit the target or not. But it's funny. In the academy, some of the guys, they had their Berettas and they had their Glocks and they had all the other ones and stuff. And and I got an aftermarket magazine. I can put 25 rounds in it. And I'm there like laughing. I go, what's so funny? If you could be throwing out 25 rounds There better be 25 people out there you're trying to hit. He goes, yeah, my revolt. After we were in the thing, so all right, all these guys are hitting half the target, hitting half the time on their target. The rest are just hitting outside the silhouette and just totally missing. And those of us with revolvers were hitting bam, 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 and they're like, how come you do that? Well, let's see. Our barrel is rigid with the firearm. It's longer, which means you get a better better trajectory out. It just we don't need to have a 25 round magazine. Bang, okay, he's dead. You're out there, bam, 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 bam. Oh, I finally hit him. Yeah. It's they have a 25 round magazine and they miss 24 times. And that's the one of the things you see all these officers involved shootings. Like 3 officers or 4 officers shooting, and there's something like 36 rounds fired, and there's 3 rounds that hit the suspect. Where are all those other rounds going? Were any innocent bystanders hit? Yeah, and it's just it's just one of those things. It's like if you gotta throw out there that much lead out there, there better be a bunch of people out there. And if there's a bunch of people out there shooting at you, you better be putting that revolver away and putting that shotgun up there and just racking rounds from the shotgun and taking out a bunch of them at a yeah. Yeah, one of the funniest things I was with when I was working for the sheriff's department there. We went out to a warehouse district out in West Pittsburgh, and they were waiting for the dog to come up, and the deputy finally showed up with the dog because he was several beats away, and he had took him a while to get over there. All right, we're ready to go, and we're listening. I'm remembering what Ron Odell at the police academy told me, and he goes, "Has anybody racked around yet?" And they all look at me, what are you talking about? And one of the guys had a shotgun. May I see your shotgun? Went over, opened the door. I just racked it inside the door. All right, here comes the 12 gauge. Don't shoot, we give up. There's something about the sound of a 12 gauge racking that makes the bad guys piss their pants. Through the neighborhood, stay away from flashing lights. Yeah. But yeah, there's your professional bad guys, when I say professional, I mean the punks that are in trouble all the time. They know the sound of a shotgun, and they know, you don't screw around with a shotgun. Hey, Don, how's it going? So if any of you guys there want to come on up, the link's up there. But yeah, this is there are some things going on. Or when I was going back to what I was talking about earlier about the sunspots and the solar flares and everything going on, I can't control that at all. And that's one of the things that really stresses me out when the sun starts farting and burping and doing this crap. And my wife and my 2 boys are still in California. And it's like, shit. If something happens and we get a good Carrington event, CME hitting the earth, I may not see them again. And that's, I'm just hoping my wife finally decides, okay, it's time. We're going to sell the California house. We're all going to go up there. We're going to buy a couple other houses with what we can sell it for. We'll have some rental income up there. Yeah. Because if something happens and we own the properties outright, we have the deeds in hand, it's a lot better than trying to say, oh, we only had $5,000 left to go on it. and try to fight. Well, there's no record of you only of you don't have the deed, so it belongs to the lender. Yeah, I can't run away from the sun. Yeah. Well, even, all right, when I went through the academy, 35, 36, 37. Okay, I went through the 89th academy, which was in 87. No, 86. It was in 86. So in 86, I went through the academy. And it was, it was 2 weeks training at the gun range, whereas 2 years before, it was 1 week. And then they had field problems after that, where you were loaded up with primers only, special plastic rounds with primers in it, and doing field problems and doing building searches, and which is something they were adding in at the time. And at the same time, they were bringing out they called it the PR-24, or the side handle baton, because it was more. PR-24 was a brand name of a particular one. The side handle baton was the term for it. And there was a whole bunch of things changing there when I went in, and I was probably a deputy maybe a year and a half, and I could see the way things were going then. And then my brother comes to me and goes, "Hey, I got a job for you. It's probably a lot safer than being a deputy sheriff, and you'll make twice as much money, and you get to play in the dirt." I go, "Playing the dirt, making twice as much money? Yeah, you need to run a backhoe." That's when I left law enforcement, went into construction. And then spent the next 15 in construction, and then I decided, okay, I want to get back into a little bit into law enforcement, but get into I wanted to get into federal stuff, and so I went back and started getting more college credits under my belt and stuff, so I could do it. And I started working private stuff, and that's when I was working for. I was at Severn Texaco's corporate headquarters in San Ramon as the shift supervisor for security. Basically, there was one person above me, and that was the vice president in charge of security, which we hardly ever saw. And when 9/11 happened, and then I had a friend of mine he was telling me all the classes I need to take so I could get on with the federal government, and I was going to go to work as a FAA inspector. And he calls it, "Hey, we're setting up a new agency. Why don't you come over and help us out?" And that was because I had so much training and was doing so much, on the side, teaching of emergency preparedness and stuff. Actually, no, it wasn't twice. It wasn't twice the risk. The risk was triple staying as a deputy. As an operating engineer, it was like, there wasn't that much going on all the time. Okay, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, takes care of all the aircrafts and everything else. And the inspectors are the ones that did all the inspection, making sure everybody's doing all their parts, making sure the ground crews were doing their stuff. They were maintaining stuff on the planes, making sure that the cargo, and you'd be surprised how much cargo goes on a plane, on passenger planes, making sure everything was being checked, all the manifests were right, all that stuff. And yeah, if I'd gotten into that when the if I had a 1 year in as an inspector when 9/11 happened, I would have been way even higher. I would have been gotten in easily as a federal security director for one of the regions. But hey, uh, what is known as a senior security officer? What is known as a senior officer gets to tell folks what to do and where to be at. But it's a lot. All of the different places I worked, I learned a lot of different things and a lot of skills. Fun stuff. Of course, if I could go back in time, I made a few changes along the way. And some of my first jobs, I would have been investing money first in Xerox, and then around 1980, taking all that money and shifted into this new company called Microsoft. All right, Star. So yeah, there's the woulda, coulda, shouldas. One of the guys back, when was it? 2004 was talking about this new company called new thing called Bitcoin, and the guy dumped half his retirement into Bitcoin at the time. We told him he was an idiot and everything. 6 months later, he sold his Bitcoin, and what he put in like $50,000 in. He sold it and had like 5 million, and he retired. And it's like, crap. Talk about a bunch of guys going around kicking themselves. That was us. But yeah, it's like up here right now. My wife comes up. We're going to have a serious sit down as soon, the first day. All right, so she's going to come up here and get up on Saturday. We'll probably start Saturday afternoon. We'll putting up trying out some of the metal up on the roof there. Sunday, we'll try to get it all done if it's not raining. So once it's all done, then we're going to have a sit down about on reassessing our 5-year plan, which was a 10-year plan. It's now down to a 5-year plan, and what we want to do here, and let's go elsewhere. She was talking last time she was up here. Was talking about and wanting a bigger area for the food forest, but she didn't want a big regular flat out garden area next to the house. And so she wanted to protect it and stuff. And after talking to Howie, Food Forest Permaculture, I want to talk to her about changing some things around what I had planned, what she had planned, doing something totally a little bit different in the area that is now going to be a lot better protected from the wind and everything else, and do a little bit different thing for the food forest here, and actually go ahead and get ready to plant all the trees we want and need first thing in the spring. Maybe even get a couple trees and plant them in the big IBC totes that I got that are movable that I can put into the shop, so we can keep them growing during the winter time. And that way, get some stuff going. The other thing is, too, we're going to seriously look at whether are we getting cows, or does she want to get sheep, or does she want to get goats? I think she's leaning towards goats now. And we'll get a dozen goats, and they'll feed all during the summer over there, fatten some of them up, let them have babies, sell off the babies to pay for the food for the wintertime. And that's the thing, is to be able to sell enough goats, have them produce enough babies to sell enough to provide to pay for most of the food for the wintertime. And then after a while, we'll get enough of them stuff where they're producing most of our meat. We'll have a lot of goat meat and selling those off, or maybe doing like one of the other people does. They take them around to people's properties, and put up a little temporary one of those electric netting fences. Put the goats out there, let them eat it down, move them around, eat it down, and move on to the next place. But, yeah, I mean, just there's so much stupid stuff going on in the news that I don't even want to talk about. What the idiots are doing. And of course, I got to tell Miss Plastic Face, who's being who's supposed to told to retire, is decided, why do I need to retire? I'm going to run again. I got 2 feet in the grave, and my hand holding me out is on a banana peel. And and she's not even coherent anymore, and they're just putting her in, trying to get her to run again as a yes person. I seriously, we need to work on everybody needs to work locally on getting term limits in from cities, counties, work up to the states, and go. If we can get a lot of states doing term limits, then it'll be easy to push it for the federal. And then we can get rid of 7/8 of the politicians out of Washington. And I wish I could go back in time and warn the founding fathers. Put term limits on for senators and representatives. Also put it in there that it is a non-paid position, and it takes an amendment approved by all the states and all the voters at 7/8% passage to pay senators and representatives in Congress. He was doing that before he was elected. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The other one, Miss Plastic Face. Yeah, my boss used to call her Pelosi Galore. He was a James Bond fan, and he called her Pelosi Galore. But yeah. I mean, she looks like she's had 20 plastic surgeries, and then someone put a heat lamp too close to her face, and it all started melting. Oh, where was that? Shoot. There was another meme I saw, which is absolutely hilarious. Was with Captain Crazy, that scary movie with the character called Annabelle. It's like a female Chucky, and he's sniffing her, and it's like the only time Annabelle was ever afraid. But, like coming back from the dead, yeah. Fear the Walking Dead, Congress. The Congressional Walking Dead. You thought the regular zombies were deadly. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh yeah, it's so much. Oh, and here's the other one. I heard a rumor. I haven't been able to substantiate it. This is just a rumor, folks. This is a rumor. Hillary wants to run again. She evidently she's not making enough money from her pharmacy stock and her uranium deals. Yeah. Anyways, I did get. I was able to, since it was raining all day today, and I couldn't work outside. I did get 6 videos filmed for your prep for today. So the first one's already been uploaded. It's coming out tomorrow morning at, what did I set it for? Shoot. 7 scheduled. Yeah, 7:30 Mountain Time. So it'll be 9:30 Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Your prep for today is on mousetraps tomorrow, which is actually, this is actually a good time for it to put it out. And you want to know why? You got to watch the video. Oh, I love that. She's all that and a bag of chips. And of course, according to Corsair trainers, that bag of chips would be Cheetos. No, it hasn't. But the demon rats at the FBI say, oh, they're not going to prosecute her, even though they went for bore off of someone else who wasn't even doing nearly the nasty stuff she was doing as far as national security. You know, Homeland Security was going to go after her, and the Abomination told them to stand down. They were going to arrest her. There were teams moving to arrest her, and they were pulled back by the president. Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? Because it's well past midnight Eastern time. We're coming up on midnight Central. But yeah, there's we're back up to 9. So whoever else just came back in, hi. Don't forget, thumbs up, and if you're going to be lurking, just listening, please type in, just listening, do something so YouTube, the AI doesn't go, oh, they didn't make a comment. That must have been just a bot. We're not going to count their time. Yeah, I mean, it's the crap that the platform's pulling on people. It's like creators and stuff. Oh yeah, we're going to put all these ads on your thing, but oh wait a minute, we're not going to pay you for those people watching the ads because they try to silence me there, because we're going to count those people as bots, because even though they watched the ad and they clicked the thumb ups, they didn't say anything in your chat. Hey Gear, how's it going? Comment. There it is. Comment. I love it. I have not heard that one. But because they're working so hard trying to discredit him now. With all this fake stuff going on, and trying to say, it's all the stuff they say. Oh, we got all this stuff. Is that? Well, that stuff was not. That thing was declassified years ago. It was okay for him to have it. Oh no, we reclassified it. No, you didn't. You're not the originator. You can't reclassify it. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that theory until just now. I'm more scared about something else happening. the since what's her name, Camel Toe Harris, has suddenly pulled back out of the limelight because she was putting her foot in it so badly that if Crazy Joe runs again, they're going to make Gavin Newsom as vice president, as running mate for vice president. They will then let her run for governor of California. But as soon as Gavin Newsom's in there, if there's, I don't want to give them any ideas, but they'll probably wait 2 years and 2 days into the term, and then they'll yank Biden out, and that way Newsom can be president for 10 years. According to the legal stuff, but yeah. For me, I know a lot of people are gonna go, "What are you talking about?" For me, I don't go out and buy MREs. Right now, my wife and I are stocking up on canning jars, and we're now getting the Tatler lids and the Superb lids. So that, once we go full bore on our own, I'm still reading comments there, full bore on growing everything and canning it, we'll be canning meals, like the chili, it's a meal ready to eat. The our Southwest Survival Mix, a meal ready to eat. Beef stew, meal ready to eat. Yeah, problem is, my wife is saying that some of the other people in California are making Newsom look like a moderate. So the great Newsom standing, well, look at everybody else. He's a moderate. He's a moderate compared to some of the others in California, and yeah, so that's they'll get him in there, but yeah. And unfortunately, the second if he's making a run for national office, his ex-wife is going to get slammed with all sorts of stuff, where she's uncredible for anything she says bad about him. Check this out here. Okay, come on. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. Interesting and scary things going on. I like what it says on your page there, Lord Tanaka. Take none of my comments seriously. Sometimes my brother gets on my computer and says dumb crap, but I'm just tired of deleting everything. So take it with a grain of salt. That is good. I like that. Yeah, unfortunately, those are the ones that are not Republicans. They claim to be Republicans, but they are left-wing socialists. And like Governor Little, I mean, the guy should have been arrested for some of the crap he pulled. He should never have been allowed to run for governor again. Yeah. All right, guys. It's after 11 o'clock here, midnight in Central. I got to get used to staying up this late again. Oh, man. Let's see what's coming up here. Let me get the schedule up on my other computer here. For those who don't know, I got 3 monitors in front of me. This one is on the one computer. That one's on the same computer where I got the I showed a screen. And this one's my other working computer where I do stuff on. So we got coming up here. Tomorrow on my other channel, Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is fall is here. Are you ready? We talk about all things we need to be getting ready for at fall for just normal stuff around the house. If you got animals, whatever it is. And so talk about that stuff. And we'll see where it goes tomorrow with some others coming up here. Saturday, on Survival Saturday, the topic starts off with turn off your AC, save money. And we're going to talk about the ways the utility companies, when I say utility companies, it may be more than just the electric company, your water, your gas, your internet provider, your phone company, everything else, have been tricking us into having to use more when we don't need to use more. All right. And if anybody has any topics they want to see talked on either on here on Grayman Prepping or over on Camp Patton Family Compound, here's the email for to send your suggestions to. And right now, I've actually got some more. I'm now up. I've got the topics all filled up through the end of November. Now, of course, you come up with a really good topic, I will bump some of the others around, shift them around. But we're up to the end of November for topics. So if you have some ideas that we should be talking about, either between now and then or even into December, please send me an email. Let me know ideas for either Grayman Prepping or Camp Patton Family Compound if it's more gardening and homesteading type stuff. All right. And let's see, back up here. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So most of my lives are 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, except for the Midnight Ride, which is midnight Eastern. All righty, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow over on Camp Patton Family Compound. Take care.